Okay guys, it's that time of the week. I'm back and I've got a guest. Matt Hayes, Tottenham blog? Matt Hayes, Tottenham blog. But we're here to predict this week's game, so should we get right into it? We've started off on Friday night with Brentford versus... Actually, before we do that, this is how it went last week. I keep forgetting to do that. Didn't go well. Mackwell won. I'm fuming. But I got quite a lot of the results right, and I think Fulham West Ham I would have got correct if handball actually existed in football these days, as I did predict a 1-1. Brentford versus Brighton, Matt. Let's get into this. 8 o'clock kickoff at the Bees Stadium. How do you see this one going?
Do you know what? I've been quite impressed with Brighton since Potter left. So I think we all probably had that feeling that when Potter was gone they'd struggle, but I haven't heard of the guy they brought in, but he seems to be doing a good job, so I rate him. It's been up and down for Brentford. They have their brilliant performances against Man United, but then they can show up against Arsenal and not know how to string two passes together.
Yeah, I like De Zerbi. Obviously, I don't know much about the manager either. I knew he was Italian, he was at Shakhtar, people say very attacking. But yeah, Brentford have been weird, right? They just got battered by Newcastle. They obviously got torn apart by Arsenal, but sorry, Matt, that happens a lot this season. And
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd probably lean... It is an 8 o'clock kickoff at home, though. I think Brentford needs something from this. Two attacking sides. I'm going to go 2-2. What do you think?
I'd give them a 2-1 in this one. I think they'll nick it.
Okay, I like it. We're building up to the big one, by the way. Liverpool, Manchester City at the end of this video. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on that. We got Leicester City versus Crystal Palace in the early kickoff. Leicester, I thought, would potentially have enough to get a win last weekend against Bournemouth, and they succumbed to a loss. So Leicester, despite beating Forest 4-0, are still terrible at football. Who knew, Matt?
Oh man, they're a mess. They're an absolute mess. I can't figure out what they actually see in keeping Brendan Rodgers at that club. Everything is gone. Look, the players are to some extent playing for him, but if they're playing for the manager and they still can't beat anyone other than Nottingham Forest, something's got to change there. And look, Palace, I think will be disappointed with the way they've started their season. Really, really inconsistent. But God, I can't see Leicester picking up any points anytime soon. A couple of injuries getting at them as well. I think they're gonna stay rock bottom. I'll go 2-0 Palace.
Yeah, I do too. I think Palace 3-1. Palace got a 2-1 win over Leeds last weekend. I think that will be good for the confidence, and I can see them tearing them apart. We move to the biggest game of the weekend. The big shagging whites. That is a seriously good-looking badger. I'm smashing all day of the week. It's Fulham versus Bournemouth.
Well, look, I think I'm the perfect guest for this, because I said at the start of the season that if Bournemouth stayed up, I'd quit my job, because I was that convinced that they were going down. Look, they've proved us wrong a little bit, and it's just so odd that it's Gary O'Neill who's the man who's turned it around. Like he's that Premier League footballer everyone forgets existed, and all of a sudden he pops up in a manager's job. And not to be fair to him, he's turned it around, but no, it's not going to last. Surely it's not going to last up in 8th place. But I think it's one that Fulham will be able to grab the 3 points. I go 2-1 for Fulham. Mitrovic back on the score sheet.
I'm gonna put my faith in Mitrovic being back, and I'm going to say 3-1 win for Fulham. We've had 2 losses to Newcastle and West Ham. The Newcastle game, Chalobah got sent off in the first minute. Idiot. The West Ham game, there was 2 handballs. And if you told me before the season that Newcastle and West Ham would beat Fulham, I would agree with you. We shouldn't be beating those teams. So this is the team we should beat. We will beat. Harry Wilson, I think, will be fit. Mitrovic will be fit. We're going to smash them. We're going to smash you, Bournemouth, 3-1. I'm telling you now. Okay, we move on to Wolves versus Nottingham Forest. Wolves, I say this every week, Matt. They can't score football goals. 3 goals in 9 games.
God, I didn't realise it was that low. Look, it is a problem if you can't score football goals, I'll admit that. But look, one thing I was right about this season, I was wrong about Bournemouth, but Nottingham Forest, you can't sign 18 players and expect for things to work out. It's like when you're playing Sunday League and everyone's hungover from the night before, they're working, they're not coming, so you text everyone to bring a friend with you, and you end up playing with like 11 lads you've never seen before. I think even Wolves surely will be able to get a couple of goals against Forest, and It's disappointing because it was nice to see Forest back in the league, but at this point, I can't really see them turning it around. I think Wolves are going to get their second win of the season, and if they've only scored 3, I suppose I'll have to go for a 1-0.
I mean, I think every week I've predicted Wolves to lose, but get a goal. I thought they'd lose 3-1 to Chelsea. You lost 3-0. I can't do it again. I've got to put my hat on and be smarter with this. Take my Wolves hat off. I'm going to say 2-0 Forest. I don't believe Forest are a good team at all. I just think Wolves are that bad. Now we move on to a big game. Tottenham versus Everton. I'm going to let you take the lead, as you are the Tottenham blog, of course.
Look, we got to beat them, surely. I think if Tottenham stick with the 3-5-2 that works so well for us against Brighton, I think we have enough to control games in the middle of the park with Højbjerg, Bentancur and Basuma. And I know we're a man down up top, but if it's Kane and Son, it doesn't matter. Who's around there helping them. They will get goals between them. But yeah, I'll go 3-1 Spurs.
I just think Everton have been better than everyone said. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll stay up. But again, they struggled to score football goals. I know Calvert-Lewin's back. I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs. I just have a feeling you might keep a clean sheet here. Be solid, a little bit of Conte ball, and you're definitely going to come away with the 3 points. I'd be surprised if Everton beat you guys. Moving on to a big game, actually, Sunday. Aston Villa, Chelsea. Now, I think this might be Steven Gerrard's final game. I really do, Matt.
Obviously did so well at Rangers, and I know it's a different kettle of fish when they're coming into the Premier League, but he started off well. They had such a bad run at the end under Gene Smith, and he seemed to turn it around straight away, but the biggest issue there is that he just hasn't been able to get in the players he wants up top, and obviously it's not entirely his fault when the only attacking player really he's brought in is Philippe Coutinho, and he just can't kick a football anymore.
Yeah.
So it's not entirely his fault. And it was Boubacar Kamara, I think he picked up an injury as well, so yeah, it's tough for Gerrard, but at the end of the day, it's a results business, and with the way Aston Villa's season is going, and I may get slated for saying this, so I think they'd be better off with a Sean Dyche, just someone like who can just keep them up, not trying to push them on, playing good football to a level they're just not at yet. And from a Chelsea perspective, started well under Potter, and that early red card for Tomori in the game against Milan, Chelsea didn't really have to get out of second gear for much of that game. Yeah. So it's not like they're going to be fatigued or hungover from the European game. So I think Chelsea could hit Villa for 3 or 4.
I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. I was going to say Chelsea 3-0. That was my prediction. What do you think?
I'll go 4-0 just to mix it up a little bit.
I think Chelsea have found their feet under Potter, and they're looking good. Mm-hmm. We move on to Leeds Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal absolutely flying at the moment. Leeds inconsistent. We've seen glimpses that they beat Chelsea 3-0, but then also they lose to Palace 2-1. I mean, it's going to be a difficult season for Leeds. I think they're going to be down in the bottom 5 or 6, and Arsenal are high flying at the moment. So personally, I don't see anything other than an Arsenal win here. What do you think?
4-0 Leeds. No, look, it's taken a while for me to fully accept how good Arsenal are. And it was that victory against Liverpool. It's kind of the one that made me realise that they're serious here. They're not going to win the league, and that's just because of Erling Haaland. That's the only reason I can confidently say they're not going to win it. But it's just these games that in the past you could see Arsenal dropping points. The Brentford away, obviously playing Liverpool. I know they did drop points against United, but it's these sort of sticky away games that you think, okay, maybe Arsenal will drop 2 points there and it can help catch up for them. But you just can't see that happening anymore. You see them go and winning these games. Yeah. Now, if they do start to pick up injuries, I think they struggle up top. There's not really enough depth there to make them the second best team in the league if they do lose a Saka or a Martinelli or a Jesus. But obviously they're all fit for this weekend, so they're...
Well, I just seen a report as of recording this. Obviously, we are recording it ahead of the game, quite early in the week, but Jesus was not present in training, and obviously he took that knock to the head and played on, which was kind of strange, I thought. But he was actually not in training today, so that's interesting.
Okay, so I'll go back to my 4-0 Leeds, and we lock that in.
4-0 Leeds, I love it. I'm going to say... Because of Jesus news that's just broken right now, I'm going to go with 1-1. 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1, which won't be a bad result. It's not great for Arsenal, but it's not terrible. Manchester United versus Newcastle United. A big game. Could be a changing of the guard, some could say, with Manchester United having fallen off the last 10 years. And obviously with the new ownership at Newcastle, they're flying. They look like a team that wants 5th or 6th, which I'm sorry, Manchester United fans, but that's your ends these days. I think it's an interesting game. Manchester United have looked okay, but inconsistent. Again, Anthony scoring 3 out of 3. I'm probably going to go ahead and say I see this going 2-1 Manchester United. I don't know why. I just do. What do you think, Matt?
No, I like the direction United are going this season. Every manager they've kind of had since Fergie, they've had spells where they've gone maybe for 6 weeks they've just won every single game. They've maybe beaten Man City a couple of times, but it's always just been a flash in the pan. Whereas this time, even when they're not getting the results, I think you can start to see a bit of cohesion coming back into that team, and they might have 5 or 10 spells within games where their passing is really crisp, and you can start to see Ten Hag ball kind of shining through. So I think on a long-term basis, it is looking a bit better for Man United. Famous last words, I know, but Newcastle are just, there's such a positive atmosphere around that club. Just celebrating their anniversary of the new owners and stuff. I think Newcastle are going here to win it. Not that they will. I think they're in the past where they go to try not to lose. I think they do have the confidence to go and try and win this game. But I'm going to go for an exciting 2-2. I think it could be a very good game.
So now we move on. Southampton versus West Ham.
Southampton are just the most pointless Premier League team. I apologise to any Southampton fan watching, but every single year they go on this appalling run of form. Nobody knows how Hasenhüttl is still in the job, and then just at the end of the season they stay up. Yeah. And that's it. Then they go the next season, maybe have a decent start. Terrible. It's just a cycle that's never going to end until they get rid of Hasenhüttl. But I think they know that if they do get another manager in, they either go up or they go down. They're not going to stay in this. It's a risky thing maybe to bring in someone who's not proven he can keep his team in the Premier League. And West Ham, a bit of a dodgy start, but Scamacca is just such a fantastic footballer.
Yeah,
he's going to bully the Southampton defence, and I think West Ham could nick this one 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I like it. I just had a look. West Ham are at home on Thursday night, so that obviously makes a big difference. They will have some tired legs in there. Thursday to Sunday, not the easiest, but I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. 3-1 West Ham. I think they'll have enough to get it done. And I agree with everything you said about Southampton. And this now is a massive game. Liverpool at 4:30. Anfield hosting Manchester City. Obviously, in the past, this would decide the title. Now, not so much. It's kind of Liverpool are playing for Van Dijk's record of never losing a game at Anfield, and Manchester City are playing for, let's just beat up the little brother that never should have been here anyway. So Manchester City have rested Haaland midweek as well. He's going to be fresh. Liverpool have injuries. Trent's out. Who else is out for Liverpool? Trent went off injured. They've got Matip went off injured. Diaz went off injured. I mean, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But it is Liverpool at Anfield. So I don't know what you think, Matt, but it could go any way.
I can't see it. I just can't see it. I mean, everyone talk about this Klopp whole 7-year thing at Mainz and at Dortmund. He's not going to be sacked. Liverpool are going to turn this around at some point, but when you're missing those players, Diaz out till after the World Cup, this could be the chance for Carvalho to try and get some proper minutes in that team and show what he's made of. But as good as he is, as much of an exciting prospect as he is for the future, he's not going to replace Diaz. He's not going to replace exactly what he provides. And the last game Liverpool would want after those injury blows and a defeat against Arsenal, the last thing you want to see on your schedule is Manchester City. And Haaland rested against Copenhagen in the Champions League as well. He's going to be fit and firing. He's going to want to get another hat-trick, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because they're just that good, and Liverpool are just so far off it.
It's also worth noting on that, I think Haaland's already got a hat-trick against Liverpool, isn't he? Let me know in the comments. I'm not even going to look it up. I think he did.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, I'm scared for Liverpool for this one. See, I want to say City will score 4 or 5, but I also, if they don't, then I just look like an idiot because it's Liverpool, but I'm going to go 4-1 City.
Oh, I like it. I do think Liverpool will score as well. Oh, I don't know where to sit on this. I really don't. Liverpool 3.
Ooh.
Manchester City 1.
That's bold.
I fail to believe that Liverpool. Oh, they are really bad though. Oh, they are really bad. It's too easy. It makes too much sense for City to go and steamroll them. I don't know if I want to say 3-1 on an actual video though. It's so depressing at Liverpool right now, isn't it? Do you know what? I'm going to sit on the fence. It's really boring. I'm going to go 2-2. And I'm just going to go based off the fact that Van Dijk's never lost at Anfield. Liverpool fans are going to be up for it. Liverpool fans are going to want their team to just give them something. And Manchester City, if you asked them before the season if they were to go to Anfield and take a 2-2, they'd take it. Now, obviously, circumstance, expectations change. I'm going to sit on the fence and say 2-2. If I'm right, you all owe me an apology because I know you're thinking I'm an idiot. But I just feel something in the air where Liverpool are going to give this game everything they've got. It's like their Champions League final. If they get run over here, I think we can all agree top four is potentially off. Like if they lose 4-5-1 here to City, it could kill them. It could kill them at Anfield losing like that. So I'm going to say 2-2 and hope that the players that are there still fit and fighting. Nunes looked good last week. Salah obviously needs to find some form. Thiago's still fit. Van Dijk in that back line. Alisson in goal. They need to be leaders and stand up and say, whatever happens, we don't get run over here. We just can't. But Haaland could bully Van Dijk and create memes to last forever. So we will see. But Matt, thank you so much for coming on, mate. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, your channel obviously linked in the description. If you are a Spurs fan, this is the man. Thank you so much, mate. We'll see you guys next time. And let us know your predictions, your most outlandish prediction in the comments section. There's always a prize. If you get something crazy right, like if someone had predicted the 9-0 over Bournemouth Liverpool, I'll hit you up with a message. So let us know a crazy scoreline. Like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.